Hello everyone and welcome to a really nice game played between Maxime, Vachier, Lagrave and myself. Congratulations to those of you who found this video via the links in the podcast, but if you still haven't seen the podcast, do check it out. The link to it will be in the description below, and basically there are links to various platforms. So basically, why I played against MVL, I asked him if he was interested in, after we finish with the podcast, to play one 5-minute blitz game that I can show on my channel afterwards. And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. And this is one such game. And I prepared for the game, not a lot, but I did prepare. I prepared the Najdorf with the white pieces, and I also prepared the Najdorf with the black pieces. So I was very unhappy when Maxime played knight to f3 on the first move. He went for the Reti opening, and okay, I played the d5 as I usually do, and here he went c4. And I replied with knight to f6. Now, it's better to go d4 or e6, because knight to f6, I was planning to go e6 next move. But it seems that you can already take advantage of this imprecise move order, which Maxime did. He played c captures on d5. We have knight captures on d5 by me, and now e4 already gaining time by attacking the knight. I played knight b6, and he went to d4. So already white has excellent control of the center, and the black has, somewhat suspicious knight here on b6. And okay, I played e6, not allowing d5. He played knight to c3, and I went bishop to b4. Again, maybe not the greatest continuation, but this whole line with developing the knight on f6 on the second move is already very risky, obviously. He went bishop to d3, just nicely continuing development, and I castled. He also castled, and there is one game in the database here where h6 was played. It was played between Kasparov and Borer in 1988 in Zurich, which Kasparov won in a very nice miniature. But I went bishop captures on c3 here. He recaptured, and I went knight to c6. I thought about going c5, but then e5, and it's just very strong for white. He has a nice control of d4, so it's not really posing him any problems. So I went knight to c6 with the idea of maybe shifting the knight over to the king side to help out with the defense, as I am expecting him to play e5. Which he of course did. He opened up this bishop's diagonal with ideas of queen e2, queen e4, and just going for mate. But also there is the instant bishop captures on h7 threat. So here I played h6, trying to prevent that. Point is that if I go something like bishop d7, then this is just winning for white. Captures, and check. And after you go back, just queen h5 will be winning. There's no stopping this. And even if you go to g6, it's still winning for white. Let's say h4. And then there's no defense against h5. You will have to go to h6 with the king. Let's say whatever you play, h5, you go here, knight captures with a discovered check, and you lose the queen, for example. So here I played h6, and Maxime made a little remark. He said, ooh, someone knows his classics, saying that I didn't blunder the bishop captures on h7 sacrifice. So now I survived for a bit longer. He went queen e2. He wants to go queen e4 and checkmate me, and it's it's nearly impossible to play this position. It's just remarkable how misplaying the move order on the second move just gives you such a tremendously bad position. And it was like I said, it was a 5-minute blitz game. But at first I really started blitzing out moves, but I was kind of really nervous. Of course, I mean, who wouldn't be? And then I stopped for a little bit. But then when I started thinking about the position and what was going on, I was I was already in a pretty bad spot. So here I played knight to d5 with the idea that if queen e4, I can survive with f5, meaning if he captures, I can capture on f6, attacking his queen and defending the h7 square. So he just played bishop d2. Continued development. He also defended the c3 pawn. Now he's preparing c4 to kick away the knight, and then he can go queen e4 with some nice threats. So here I played knight c to e7. If queen comes to e4, then I can still block it with knight to g6, although it's not the greatest of plans. He played c4, kick my knight away. I went back to b6, and he played a4. Not even rushing with queen e4, just going after a5, not giving my knight any squares. So basically playing with his food. I played a5, not allowing a5 for white, and he played rook f to b1. I played knight to c6, and you can see that it's such a bad position for black. My queen and bishop doing nothing, both rooks doing nothing. The knights are on the queen side when all the action is happening on the king side here. So he played queen e4 finally, now threatening queen to h7 checkmate. And there really is no way to deal with this. You can go f5 and then maybe try and hide your king over to the queen side, but of course it will not work. So I played g6 instead. I gave up the h6 pawn, but it does not really help. Bishop captures, rook e8, and he played bishop to g5. Attacks my queen, but basically wants to set up a mating net here with bishop f6 and queen to h8. I went queen to d7, and he went queen to h4. Now the idea is bishop f6 followed by checkmate. So I played f5, stop not allowing it. So now at least my queen has access to the h7 square, but by doing so I allow e captures on f6 en passant, and there's nothing more to be done here. If I go, let's say, queen h7 over a queen trade, I'm still down 2 pawns, so it wouldn't even help me if I survive the attack, but he can just block, and well, next move he's going to play queen g5, he's going to capture on g6 and so on. So I played queen to f7, not allowing him to push the pawn, but here he played queen to h6, and it was in this position that I resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So point is, he's preparing to capture on g6, and even if I try and trade queens here, it's still not possible. He can just go f7 check. I cannot capture because I lose the queen. If queen captures, then he can go bishop captures here. Let's say I go for a queen trade, he can just trade, pick up the rook, but he doesn't even have to go for material. He can just avoid trading queens, and it will be checkmate very soon. So yeah, after queen to h6, I resigned the game, and well, it was quite the game. Basically, this is what it looks like to be completely outclassed and beyond. But on the plus side, it inspired me to take up a course maybe on the Reti and learn a little bit, because here in the beginning I didn't really think about it at all. I played d5, and after this c4, I played knight to f6. Trying to get a normal setup, but I didn't take into consideration that this just gives him a lot of time to create a huge center, and well, it all just went downhill from here. But yeah, it's move order is very important, as you've seen here, and yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna take a crash course on the Reti to be able to survive at least until move 2. So yeah, that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, do check out the podcast. The links will be in the description below. And also, here is a message from a mystery person regarding the podcast. So here it is. Let's check it out.
Everyone, can you guess who that person is? Correct, it's me, MVL, and hello everyone, and I wanted to welcome you to the podcast with AGADMATOR that I did yesterday, and we had a great talk. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Thanks.
So there you have it. You are invited to check out the podcast by both Maxime and myself, and I really do hope you enjoy it. It's only some 2 hours long, so if you have 2 hours to spare, do check it out. I would also like to thank Anjali Grover, Tom McCarrick, Trevor Henry, Goraz Dracic, and Christopher Bett for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of the Morphy saga and whatever else happens in the chess world. And I also forgot to mention, even though it was a 5-minute blitz game, it took Maxime some 40 seconds to play this game, so he still had like 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and I was down to like a minute and a half when I resigned. So yeah, thank you all, and I will see you soon.